Hey guys, don't forget to check out our local sponsors, Amigos Portsmouth. They're open noon till 10 p.m, delivering some of the most favourite Mexican feasts that are available.
So if you hit this link here and use the code NJB, you'll get 20% off. Cheers.
Cheers. Hello everyone, welcome to podcast number 9. We've got a very special guest in today. We've got Joel McIntyre, former English champion, just recently returned to the sport. Joey, and obviously, sorry, we're here with Ash as well. We can't forget you, Ash. Joey, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well. You good?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Enjoying the weather today?
Oh, mate, it's beautiful, right?
It's nice, right?
How nice.
No better place to be in the summer. Or this is summer. This is spring. Summer.
Spring, yeah, it's just started.
No better place to be than the south coast, man. It's the best.
Perfect.
Blue skies.
So, Joel, you got obviously a fight coming up. How's camp going?
Everything's going fine, man. Everything's going sweet. Just as it's meant to. Just nicely.
Sparring's going well.
Yeah, sparring all right.
I think I saw a bit of it yesterday.
Yeah, you checked a bit of that yesterday.
So
It's all good.
yeah, perfect, mate, perfect. So I guess Joel, I think about yourself. Tell me how you got involved in boxing.
Oh, right back to day one, yeah.
Right back to day one.
Day one.
Let's hear a little bit about your story. I'm quite interested, man. I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about your story. Why you got involved in boxing? You know, what was the reason for getting involved in boxing?
Mate, boxing, by definition, it's fighting, right? So I was just a kid, just an angry little kid, fighting just with anyone and everyone, you know. And one day at college, I was 16, 17.
What college did you go to?
It was Highbury.
Highbury College.
Yeah, just Highbury Construction College. The first year I opened in North Harbour.
Yeah, okay.
And
Is that in Portsmouth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
North Harbour.
Portsmouth way, yeah.
Just between like Port Saint. And a friend of mine just said, hey, because I was fighting every weekend. You know what I mean? I wasn't even 18 yet. I wasn't even old enough to be in the pubs, but I was in the pubs fighting every fucking week. Like, excuse me, you swearing? Maybe we'll keep that to a minimum. I'll keep that to a minimum, right?
Minimum, yeah.
But every week, yeah. And just a guy that was in there knew me, and I bumped into him. I didn't even know he went to the same college as me, and he just literally said, he said, listen, you're fighting every week. You fight every single week, man. Why don't you try boxing? I'll go to Lee Park. Shout out Lee Park Boxing Club back in the day. And yeah, he said, come up there and see how you get on. And that was it. That is as much as it gets.
What age were you when you started?
17.
17 years old. And you say you were quite an angry kid. Yeah. Why do you think you were an angry kid? Was it the area that you grew up? Was it?
It was a mixture of everything. I was, living in Lee Park, which a lot of people have a sort of different sort of opinions on. It's just a council estate with a load of kids around that just, haven't got much to do. So trouble finds pretty much every one of them. And yeah, my dad wasn't really around much. I think there was a little bit of thing going on there with sort of like rejection and all that. And yeah, it was just I found myself getting in trouble quite a lot.
So do you reckon boxing sort of saves you from, I don't know, maybe a route that you were going down, or especially at that age?
Yeah, it was definitely an outlet. I find that sort of thing, boxing saving you from this and that. Like, I mean, it didn't completely save me, as we'll find out later, and I'll tell you a bit more of my story. But yeah, it was kind of that. It was an outlet, and it was definitely like a channel for some sort of energy.
I think everyone's got that sort of story. I got involved in boxing just to try to build confidence and do something different. You've got people who are trying using it for get out of trouble maybe, or find a different path, and I don't know why you got involved.
I was just getting fit, yeah.
Yeah, just getting fit and build your
falling
confidence.
into the gym. But yeah, obviously with you, when you first stepped into the boxing gym, how was it compared to a street fight, going against people that are fighting every day of the week, sparring, training? Was it quite nice being around experienced people to look up to the coaches?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's funny because whenever anyone talks about that comparison, street fighting to boxing, you've got to understand, right? And it's more like an unspoken thing. Most of the time with street fighting, we're drunk. Do you know what I mean? You're drunk, aren't
Yeah,
you?
you're true.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not like you go, yeah, let's go and have a come. We're going to go and have a fight. And we're going to go and do it on the street, and that's a street fight. It's not how it goes. It's not like Street Fighter 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like round one, fight, and that's it. It's like
Just a few
you're
swings.
drunk. Someone's bumped into somebody, or someone's done something to somebody, and there's all this back and forth. And it might be, oftentimes it's just like one punch and done, one and done. And that'll be it. Someone's gone down, that's it. There might be a couple of kicks. It gets a bit brutal. But other than that, it was never really like that. So the difference is almost night and day.
Yeah.
Because then you've got all the accountability. You get into the ring and it's just like, there's nowhere to hide. Like, I won't name any names, but I've seen some real top boys from around where I'm from get in the boxing ring and look like lost little kids. They're like...
And fitness as well, obviously. If you're used to just having a few punches on a night out,
Exactly.
compared to trying to train for 2 minutes for any beginner,
Exactly.
it's like a marathon.
My dad always says, like, if you see someone tough in the street, tell them to get in the ring and see how long they can do it.
Exactly that.
They can't do it, can they? It's
Nah,
completely different.
Because you run on adrenaline when you're out fighting anyway. Because it's like, oh my god, it's not meant to. You're not ready for it. It's completely different dynamics.
Do you feel like it sort of humbles you in a way as well when you realise, obviously, if you are in street fights and you feel good and you feel like the man, when you suddenly see, like, especially for me, when I'm getting beat up every week by always much better people, like, I'm never going to think, you feel a bit more humble in yourself.
Man, I've seen it humble people. And I've been on the end of it as well. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the worst thing when you can get on such a high like that, and you're like number one. Especially, it's the worst place to be. I don't recommend it. Any kid who's the top boy in their gym, they better be going on the road sparring. Do you know what I mean? Because that'll set you up for an absolute fall. I was the same. I was often the top boy in my gym because I was the heaviest probably, and I was whatever not necessarily the most experienced, but always the most game.
Was this at Lee Park?
I think I was the heaviest in that gym most of the time. Same as most of my amateur clubs.
Did you have Shane Govan at your time as well at Lee Park? Was he there?
Shane Govan, yeah, he was around. Was he in the amateur gym with me? Because I've come across him in the
Was he
the
Lee
white
Park
collars
as well?
yeah.
Oh, did he do white collar as well?
Yeah, he was white collar. I think he was as well. Jeez, you're asking me in the memory bank there. Yeah, but I remember.
But you were the top because he was pretty good standard as well.
Yeah, all good standard. I mean, you got like Gary Neal, he was in there as well. Danny Denham, he was in there as well. Them boys were like, I used to look at them boys, and even Ty Brown was in there hitting the pads when I was younger. Like, do you know Ty Brown?
No.
That's like Tony Oki era.
Is it Tony? Yeah, it's a bit before me.
And I remember watching him hit the pads once, and I was like, whoa! And not being funny, but he was not on a level of like a real high level professional. But as a kid, I was watching him on the pads, just like, wow! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was impressive, but yeah, massive. It is. It can be a big reality check for a lot of people, and like a humbling experience,
And when did you start fighting? Obviously, let's say you walked in Lee Park at 17. Did you compete straight away? Did you wait a year and get fit?
No, I got carded pretty quick. It was like 2 sessions in, they go to cut the time. Yeah,
They do that at Lee Park.
Yeah.
They do that.
It was like, yeah, this kid, he makes a loud bang when he hits the pad, so yeah, give him a card. Let's get him carded. But no, I didn't have a fight for a long time. It was always the way, the amount of shows that I went to, and you always go into the shows, like the same as sparring. You go into the gym, you sort of like, don't know who you're sort of looking around, like, who am I going to be?
Yeah, who's sparring?
Who's this guy? Like, and I'd always look at the guys that I thought that I was their size, but it turns out I guess I'm a bit bigger than I actually see myself as. And then that'd be that giant over in the corner, and I'd be like, oh, look at that.
We've all done that.
Yeah, at every show that I've been to, I'm looking, and then he goes and fights a middleweight, and I'm like, I'm a heavyweight. Where's the other guy? You know what I mean? It's always the way.
What age? So you were in the gym. When did you have your first fight? How old were you?
I was either 17 or 18.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty soon, but there was so many letdowns before. My first fight was at Lee Park, Workies.
How'd it go?
Club. Yeah, first round knockout.
Nice.
Basically, it was just like the Tasmanian devil, just throwing punches until the geezer was sparked out, and that was it.
What weight was that? What weight did you start off at?
I think I was probably about 88 kilos.
were still a big kid at 18 years old then. So you
Yeah.
kept your weight.
Mate, so I was bigger at 16 than I am now.
Wow.
What, were you overweight, or was it just that you?
Yeah, I was carrying weight. I guess so. Yeah, it wasn't until like I spent a bit of time in Her Majesty's Pleasure. Do you know what I mean? I cut the weight because the food was different.
Hey, what age was that from?
20 to almost 21.
I think we'll comment that. I guess that was so. You had your amateur record. I mean, you said to me you had 12 amateur fights, was it?
Yeah.
And I remember I only saw you fight once as an amateur, and I think you said we both boxed in the Southern Counties.
And the lights went out.
When the lights went out, he was boxing, and I was looking forward to seeing him fight because I've known Joel for quite a while. I was like, okay, he's got a tough fight. He's in there, and the lights cut out. Just cut out. Did that fight?
I thought you meant lights out as in he's knocked out another guy.
The lights cut you because I boxed twice that day. So I boxed
blackout.
first, and then I boxed after you, and the lights went out.
Well, I must have boxed twice that day as well because the Southern Counties, I won the first one against like the favourite. That was when the lights went out, and then I fought again that day.
Yeah, and yes, okay.
Because that was 2 fights that I remember because the guy that I fought in the final got a bye, and I remember saying, oh, fucking, I was tired. You know what I mean? That's why I was drained because I cut weight and I went down to the weight below because we were like 82 kilos at the time, 82 kilos, or maybe it might have been like 87. I could get under 86, and it was like just don't eat. Just don't eat or don't drink any water for like a day,
And just fight twice.
yeah, and then you'll be alright on weight, and you weigh in the morning, and then you got to fight twice. Yeah, good thinking.
What club was that in?
Oh man, was that with? Who was that with? Who was in my corner? Maybe that was George McKenzie. It might have been Waterville.
Oh, George McKenzie. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it might have been Waterville.
Bold guy, ain't he, George?
Yeah,
Yeah. Character.
yeah.
Nice guy.
And how was training as an
Crazy.
amateur then? What was it? Did you just turn up to the sessions? Did you do your own running, sprints?
I did not like every bit of training as an amateur. It was horrible. In fact, actually, I'll tell you where we are right now at the Pyramids. Yeah, Castle Fields over there. I trained for there when I came out of Portland. And I was living in Palmy Road, so just over here, and I'd run over to them steps.
Yeah.
The Castle Fields steps.
Yeah.
Them steps are perfect.
Yeah, brilliant.
They're so good because they're hard. You can take them one at a time, or you can take them two at a time properly.
What sort of training did you do on the steps?
Just up and down. So up as fast as I could. But more every step, then walk down, and again, just do that like 20 times or whatever.
I was trying to do the most as I can in 3 minutes, then have a break.
Cool. Okay,
3
that's
minutes,
for real.
have a break. 3 minutes.
Yeah,
That's,
nice.
that's the sort of amateur stuff that you get used to, right? Get your heart rate up as fast as you
Yeah,
can.
up and down, up and down. Yeah,
down.
intervals.
So you started off at Lee Park. How many fights did you have for Lee Park? If you remember.
3, maybe 4.
And after that, did you go with the university?
No, Waterville was next,
Oh, okay.
and university I think was last.
And how come you chose to go to the university?
Do you know what? I don't even know how I got there now.
What uni?
Pumpy.
Portsmouth
Oh,
University.
He's at Portsmouth Uni, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to university.
No, obviously.
Obviously.
He's mugged you right. No, to be fair, we've had a few people that have they've boxed for the uni and they've not even been. Like our mate
Yeah.
Matt Dunn, he went to Miami, boxed for England universities, and I remember him saying, I work with metal. That was his job. He didn't do anything else. Yeah, shout out Matt Dunn.
Do you know,
Great guy.
back in the day, we had some good talent. You had Mark Coombs there.
Yeah.
You were there during Mark Coombs, were you?
Yeah, man. Mark
and you
Coombs.
had the twins.
twins were there at one point.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what? Ashley might be fighting on that show on the 16th.
I think I saw an interview with Ash recently. I think he's fighting soon for Guildford.
Yeah.
So I don't know what show he's boxing on, but that'd be good. Ash is a good lad.
Yeah.
Was he amateur, pro?
He was a really good amateur. I think, did he turn over? He's turned over now, he must have.
Turned over 38, 37, 38.
Oh wow.
No, he's not that old.
Oh, mate, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm 34. He's older than me.
Oh, is he older than
Went
you?
pro at 38.
Yeah.
But he's super fit, super fit.
He's a runner.
Yeah.
But he's a runner, like a 5-minute mile runner, like consistent 5-minute mile, no problem.
Crazy,
Yeah,
does
he did
marathons
it.
and
Marathons.
stupid
What weight?
2.5.
What weight?
It's funny enough because he was trying to get down to 60 kilos when we had the ABAs, and I was going to fight him, but he couldn't make it, so he did 64. So I think it might be 64, 67
he won't
now.
be far off that now. Yeah, he won't be
he's
far off
lean
that now. Lean. He's a good boy as well.
His brothers, both of them, top
Twins.
boys.
And when you boxed for the uni, what bouts did you have there? Did you travel the country with that a bit, or?
Won the Haringey Cup with the university.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was good.
Like
That
the
was
most
like the
prestigious.
that was the university team because there was other universities there. There were other boys that we met.
Oh, did you do Bucks? Was it Bucks or was it the Haringey?
Haringey.
It was Haringey. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
there
the
a
Haringey Cup.
big field out there that year? Was there a lot of big names?
Not on my way.
No, not.
Nah, there wasn't. It was under 10s as well. We've worked that out, didn't we,
novice,
yesterday?
Yeah,
Under 10s at the time.
How
Yeah.
many fights did you have during that competition?
2. Saturday and Sunday, I think.
Just a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I got the only knockout of the competition.
As you would. How many knockouts did you get in your amateur record?
I think about 6 out of 12 fights, I think.
6 out of 12.
That's
Yeah,
solid.
my
As
first-
an
my
amateur,
first-
that's.
Yeah, my first 3 I
It's 3
think were
twos as well.
knockouts. No, my first 2 were knockouts. Then the third one went the distance. That was a funny one on the third one because I'd been up all night running from the police.
Go on, that's the story. Let's hear that story. Go on, share that one.
Got
What
to make
happened?
weight.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
No, actually, that was number 2 that I'd been up all night running from the police. That was a kid that I fought. Darren Harbour. No, Dan Harbour.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, lads from Paulsgrove.
Yeah,
like top
okay.
boys from Paulsgrove, good lads. And it was Dan, I think I fought, and I went and fought him at Paulsgrove, and I'd been up all night, yeah, because I went round some girl's house and then I drove to. I did no license, and I drove to the shop to go and buy some beer. It wasn't even for me; it was for them as well. But one of them was so smashed that it was their car. I was like, "You're not driving.
Yeah.
I'll drive." Driving on the way back, got pulled by the police. Got out and just thought, "There's no way I'm passing the breathalyzer." So I'm gonna run at the first opportunity, and I did end up running and shoved the police officer bolt off the road. Just got away, but then running around Lee Park. No mobile. I don't think I had a mobile phone. Do you know what I mean? This is the day before all that sort of shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, and noticing that my mate's window was open. Oh, is it? He must be up. I climbed up onto his porch, climbed through his window like that. What are you doing? Are you there? Hey, Tommy, you in? And then yeah, he's like, what are you up to? It was funny because these are boys that were nuttier than me. Do you know what I mean? And he was actually in bed, and then I woke him up. Anyway, I slept on his floor. Next day, I'd go up and go and do the weigh and everything like that.
Wow.
Go and fight.
And
I
knocked
don't
the kid
recommend
up?
this. Huh?
And you knocked the kid up?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah, stopped
yeah.
him.
Oh,
Stopped him in the
what
third.
round?
Stopped him in the third. It was a good fight though, and because he had such a big following, all these boys, all these lads from Paulsgrove and all that, they were all, and he was like a top boy, but I ended up stopping him.
Who was your hardest fight as an amateur?
Do you know what? My hardest fight was like the one kid that I thought was there was a show. We was on this show. I was going to fight this kid, right? Literally standing in the opposite corners like this, and then it kicked off in the crowd, and it really kicked off like some gypsy families fighting.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that as in just I got nothing against gypsies at all, but it was straight up 2 clans.
Yeah.
Rocking, really going off in the crowd, and we were all looking like this, and then the referee went, no, not happening. So there's these 2 nippers, me and this other kid, staring at each other about the fight. But I was looking at him, and he just looked. I thought, I'm going to kill this kid, and it didn't happen. And I think because it was bound to happen, so eventually it did in the future. But I totally overlooked him, and he was tough as you like. Give me a nightmare.
Hey, how did he look in the ring when you looked at opposite him? How was he?
He looked like a little nothing. But
Really?
that's one of the things in boxing. The number one thing that boxing's taught me: never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Never ever judge.
See, the prettiest fighters are the most toughest people out there, right?
Prettiest, the most calm, the most unassuming guys. They're the ones. I've even been in this very building, like when we was in the pyramids, and there was a fight, and there was a guy, and I know it sounds like anyone's story, but like a bald guy, tattoos, lump, yeah, and then an old boy with grey hair, and he's a fat boy, and just well, you thought, wow, this ain't gonna last long. This kid's gonna kill him, and the old boy just totally schooled him. It's like that was the one thing where I thought I'd never ever judge a book by its cover.
When I first started boxing, there was a ginger kid, didn't really look like anything, and I see him spar, and what was his name? Alex Mackey, I think, and he'd only had a few bouts, but he was so sick, and you would never think he would even fight. Like, if you saw him, you would never even think he's a boxer. And for him to have just a few bouts, like he looked like a pro to me at that point.
Yeah.
And you see these people that, you know, like short, fat, ginger, or, you know, whatever you want to think that looks not hard. And yeah, every time after time they prove you wrong. Like the old boy, that video that pieces up that young lad. I don't know if you've seen that video.
I think I might have.
Like,
Yeah.
He looks about 70, his posture's bad, and he just beats up this like 25-year-old prime pro boxer. It's just, yeah, I love seeing
Never
stuff
judge
like
a
that.
book by a cover, right?
No, it's incredible.
Golovkin, like
Golovkin's
we're
prime
doing a
for that.
post to him soon. You see him in a suit and you think, oh, he's a nice guy.
I like him with his no shirt.
Yeah,
and
and all
stuff.
blood on his
It's
shoulders and
like-
stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just strange, isn't it? It's just a funny old thing.
And what was your best win as an amateur? Would you say Haringey?
Haringey was good, yeah, because the final in Haringey was a knockout first round. The kid was a bit like wild, and I know that he didn't stop his last guy, but he was really wild, and I was always in the attitude of the like, let me get this over and done with, you know what I mean? Let's get the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? And I was in there, but I remember saying to Wayne before, and I was like, not Wayne, my last few fights have been points. Where's all my knockouts going to come? When am I going to do knockouts again like that? And he's like, it's all right, mate, just, it is what it is, just get the win. And I thought, I want a knockout, yeah? So anyway, this kid, like, this I don't know where he's from, scary kid, and he's just like he's jumping up and down. I've got it on the video somewhere. It's like on a file somewhere on a laptop, probably an old laptop I don't use anymore. And he came forward. He was quite going for it, and I'm just like moving, and then I just see an opportunity. But my form was so terrible at the time. It was just like for a big round. And there's actually a photograph that's someone on the court. It's basically me throwing this right hand, and my hand is practically touching the floor. And it was the one that came after, just left hook, bang. Yeah.
mate.
So it was that one. So the right hand was touching the floor.
I'll tell you what, you can't get any more power than that. Okay,
No,
that's a full
That's
rotation.
leverage, you know what I mean? Leverage. And he went down, and then he went to get back up and went back down. And yeah, that's it. That's over. And then I turned around and went to Wayne. About time I got a knockout. I told you I wanted one, didn't I?
Okay, how was Wayne for you as a coach?
He's a great coach.
He's a good coach, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good man. So I like him. Got a lot of time for him. I haven't seen him for a long time.
I believe he's over in Australia at the moment, right?
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah, it
oh,
wouldn't
that-
surprise me. I bet he gets around.
Wayne Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was with him in Melbourne for a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good guy.
Yeah. Looked after him.
I've got some friends in Melbourne actually at the moment. They're stuck there obviously because of like the restrictions and stuff. Is
It's a
it?
bit of a shame though, isn't it, being stuck in Australia?
Yeah, I get the sarcasm there, man. That's all right.
So Joe, what happened? Obviously, you touched upon it earlier. You said that when you were 20 years old. I think that's when you were at the university. Is that right?
Yeah.
You served a bit of time
Yeah.
inside for that. What was that for, and how did that come about? First of all.
It was a long time coming, to be fair, man. Like I said, my lifestyle as a kid and all that, and I was running around fighting with everyone. It was a wonder it didn't happen sooner. But and ironically enough, it happened for something that really it shouldn't have done. Like something that I don't think I was really in the wrong. But bottom line is, I hit some guy and smashed his face up, like broken whatever and all sorts. And yeah, just caught up with me, without going into detail, just caught up with me in the end, which it was bound to, because it's karma at the end of the day, and I was playing that, and it was only a matter of time. And yeah, just went to Portland, spent like 4 months in Portland.
How
I
was
was only
that?
a YOY, so it's a youth offender institution, so I was like 20. So it's not until you're 21 that you're classed as an adult.
I think it's 18 now. I might be wrong, but I think it's
It would
soon.
make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
18 to
To drink and smoke.
drinking, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So at least 21. That was all right then.
Yeah, I was 20. I was just hoping to. I actually, it's funny, really. This tells you how messed up the justice system is. Yeah, when on my sentencing, went in, and because it was time to get sentenced and all that, so it's like, right, okay, what's going to happen? Like, I'm definitely getting sent down. Like, I've been told, because there was some word behind the scenes. I'd heard some stuff, and they were gunning for me basically, and the guy before me, right, I heard, right, I was sitting in there watching this guy get sentenced, like just some random man, yeah, like just like a little weird looking guy, and he ended up getting 12 months, yeah, but like it was the stuff before, and the judge went, well, based on the images that were on the laptop and this and that, so basically I was getting the impression that this geezer was a nonce case or something, yeah, 12 months. There you go, send him down, take him away, sit down, 12 months. Me going straight after, a fray, 15 months. Like, wow. Not saying that I was not trying to, like, I mean, I caused upset in this people's lives, and I've got regrets and all that, and you know, it's very sad and everything like that. But just for this guy, just before to get that,
it's very dated. Yeah, the justice system. It's still like it now. The same laws and stuff. Yeah.
Strange,
and how was it when you were in there?
Pretty chill, mate. It is what you make it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not exactly going to get messed with. I'm quite a lot. Like, you know, I'm a big lad and all that, and I don't really take any crap.
Did you box in there?
No, not really. Like, but we did train. There was a lad in there actually. It was on. So I went to Dorchester. I spent 2 weeks in Dorchester.
Is that like a step off?
That was, yeah. I don't know what the idea of that was. I just got taken straight to Dorchester for 2 weeks, and that was YY and adults, and then you got juveniles, which is the youngers, yeah. So that what they want involved, but YYs and adults, so probably like 18 to 20, and then 21 upwards. So all mixed in together. And when they said, all right, McIntyre, you're shipped out in the morning. You're going to Portland, and everyone's like, you're going to Portland, you're going to get shanked out, all that to me, like just winding me up. I'm like, and there was one guy in there that was like, hey, listen, ain't that bad, don't worry about it.
What was your mindset like when they were saying it though? Did you feel a bit nervous?
Like, well, I guess so, yeah, but you're already in there, you're already numb. The times when you, listen, I've been sent down once for 4 months. It's not hardly like anything really to write home about, so to speak, you know. But like, it was you once you're in the sweatbox on your way there, you're like, that's it, that's the lowest of the low, you're there. But
does it make you not want to ever go back?
Absolutely. It worked for me. It worked.
Yeah,
I didn't have a terrible time. I had a great time in there, really. Like I say, they told me, this one guy, that when everyone was taking the piss and that, said about like, you're gonna get shanked up and all that, because like Portland's meant, it's Borstal, isn't it? Apparently, is that Borstal, the old from Scum?
Yes.
It is like the old, yeah, but
yeah.
And so it was a really old. Like, there's a few of the wings now that was there, Hardy and Benbow or Drake. One of these, they're all like named after thingies. There's Collingwood as well. There's like, I was in Grenville, which is the induction wing, and this kid that said to me in Dorchester, that was like the only one that was like, was playing ISS Pro, and he was like, ain't that bad, don't worry about that. Like, but if I give you one bit of advice, just whatever you do, stay on Grenville. I was like, okay. And sure, when you get there, it's the induction wing, Grenville. Mm-hmm. And he said, just get it. If you ask for a job on Grenville, then you'll be able to stay there and you won't get moved on. Mm-hmm. So as you go into the induction wing, and it's all nice,
yeah.
And then you move on to these other wings, and it's all like, some of the wings are hellholes. Like Grenville's like this, and there's like a mirror version. I can't remember what the wing next to it's called, but because Grenville was like, just the way they run it, it's like just nice. And we were the cleaners there, so I got a cleaning job on there. So I obviously stood out. I asked for a cleaning job, but then they was like, no, we don't take applications. And then I'd got on with some of the gubs just straight, like every time in the morning, like you get this thing written up every morning. Your bed needs to be made. You need to be sat there on your bed waiting, all your stuff folded up every single morning for inspection. And yet there's boys in there that just didn't care, didn't bother. I was there every day like that, just sat there waiting for inspection, yeah, and they got a tick off, Kushti, did that every single time, and they obviously noticed it. I just worked my way, do you know what I mean? I had to do it, play the game.
That's good.
Yeah, so eventually they give me one kid got sent off to Cat D, which is like category D, like prisons, you know, like Ford, open prison, stuff like that. They're Cat D.
It's quite low, is it?
Yeah, so this kid had been there for 2 years, and he was a good boy on the wing. I got his thing number 2. The one, see, this does get to your question, yeah, because whether I did boxing in there. Number 1 was a kid called Snoop. they called him Snoop. His name was Robert. I can't remember his second name now. It's called Robert because he was named after Bob Marley. Like, so Bob, yeah. But we called him Snoop. He just looked like Snoop. He had like a small chin. He probably looked like Snoop. He had the hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, so he was like a boxer as well. He was in ridiculous shape. Do you know what I mean? For like a 20-year-old kid. But he'd been in there 3 years. Got in there
Just
for kidnap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for like kidnap, false imprisonment and all that. Did a job for someone, just kidnapped some guy, burnt his fingers and took his nails off and all stuff like that. A bad little man, yeah.
Wow.
And
It's different to the jobs I see on Indeed. It's like
yeah. Where'd you get that? Did you get that? You get these ones from Craigslist, I think, or in the back of like magazines. But yeah, wow, no, but he was like, yeah, but he was chill as you like. You know what I mean? And he'd been there 2 to 3 years. But
did he get you involved in training then?
So we started in the gym. That was when I first started gym.
What was the gym like there?
It was alright. We only had it once a week, but then we also joined this thing, and it was like gym club on a Tuesday night or something. Yeah, that was a hard little thing. It was like a Dirty Dozen circuit, and it was brutal. And everyone had to do it. But then there was gym as well. Dorchester was the best because you got gym pretty much every day in there.
So what do you do when you weren't in the gym and cleaning? Just sat around, just waiting?
Yeah, how do you occupy your time?
Cleaning meant they just unlock your cell in the morning, out, do your cleaning jobs and all that. But with my time, I'll tell you what I did with my time. I'd read a load of books. Joe Kazagi's book, The Rock's book, Mankind. Like
the wrestler, the Mankind.
The Rock wrestler.
Oh, The Rock.
Like I say, Joe Kazagi's book. I read like How to Make Money on eBay book. And it was it was different.
Yeah, man. E-commerce was just kicking off then, wasn't it?
Yeah. But then it was all like, it's funny actually going in there and then coming out. It was like there was like Woolworths shops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Woolworths was there when I went in.
Yeah.
It wasn't there when I came out. It was gone.
It's all your fault, mate.
It wasn't me, man. Yeah, no more pick a mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to come to terms with that. That was quite big.
That's so sad. That's a big punishment, isn't it?
So when you said you had 15-month sentence and it was reduced to 4, was it on appeal?
No, it was 15 months, reduced like half to 8.
Okay.
Or thereabouts. And then half on tag, so HDC.
Okay.
Home detention curfew. So you have to apply for that and you have to like behave to get that. And you don't find out if you're going to get it until like not long before you get out. And so like it was never known whether I was going to get it. It was like really tense. But
You got it?
yeah, I got it in the end. Yeah, because there was no reason why not. I mean, the prisons were getting full at that time anyway, and they just send you out on the thing. But what I had to do, that was like I say, I lived over in Palmy Road, because where I lived was quite close to the like victims in the crime, my crime that got sent down for the like assault. And they lived literally just like round the corner from where I lived.
And they allowed you to live there when you got out?
No, I had to
So they
apply
had
for
to
it.
move.
That was in Lee Park.
Yeah.
So when I applied for my home detention curfew, I had to put my dad's address down, which is over in Palmerston Road.
Okay.
So I went there.
Great area though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you have when you got out? Obviously, like you got out of there. What did you do after you got out? Did you go straight into work? Did you want to get back into the gym and start training full time? Was it get back turn pro?
Yeah, I mean, I was sending like that's one of the things that sort of screwed my head on a little bit, because there was so many people sending me letters and everything in there, and there was boys in there that had been there for a long time. Like I say, Snoop was one of them. He'd been there for nearly 3 years, and he didn't really get visits anymore. And like he was based in like South London. He lived in South London, so it's quite a long way to get to Portland and that. But I mean, you know, if you've got a loved one in prison or a son or whatever, you go, don't you? You know, and he didn't get as many, so it's kind of that thing that I was like, wow, why am I playing up? I've got all these people. And one of the people that was writing to me was Wayne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Wayne was writing to me. I had everyone was writing to me. It was just, I had letters every single day, and I was like, God, what am I doing? Why am I acting an idiot?
It's
And
good
I've
that you
got
had
all
the
these loved
support.
ones.
That's really good that you had the support
Well,
when you're in
that
there.
was what got me. That was what got me through it. That's what screwed my head.
Yeah, that's
I thought,
brilliant.
mate, Joel, what are you doing, boy? Why are you acting an idiot? Why are you running around angry, fighting with people when you got all these people that love you?
I
And
guess
that
it
sounds a
puts
bit
it in
like
perspective.
cliche, but that was it.
Yeah. It puts everything into perspective.
Absolutely.
You think that there's not, there's no one out there for you, and then that taught you that there's people who care for you in there.
Exactly, compared to these other kids that was in there, bless their hearts, you know what I mean? And apparently now I've heard that like that Snoop, he passed away. So I don't know what he got into, but he's not around no more. So he's not even around no more. And like I say, he never obviously didn't have the support on the outside that I definitely did. So I had Wayne, that, like I say, Wayne was doing that, and I remember writing a letter to him. I think he's probably still got it. He always said he still kept it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be in the 2012 Olympics, going to be in the London Olympics, because this was like 2008, moving into 2009, early 2009 I got out. So I'm going to be in the Olympics, and so that's what I was going for. But then, like, I didn't quite stay as focused with the amateur side, and I always fancied the pro style.
I think your style was suited for pros, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like flat feet, well, not necessarily flat feet, but planted and just hooks rather than on the toes fast.
Tip tap.
Yeah. Fencing, as Billy Joe once said about it.
Billy Joe, he's the best at it, though, isn't he? Billy Joe, so
he's pretty,
So obviously you come out, you didn't really stick to the amateur. Did you go pro then, or were you working and then you considered going pro whilst what was you doing for work, for money?
I don't know, man. I was just doing bits and pieces. I was always a ground worker. Because I was in college doing the plumbing, so I was doing plumbing for a bit. Yeah, nothing really that spectacular. It was just, grafting. But never really, none of it interested me. None of it interested me. It's sad, really. Like, well, not sad, but I mean, I've got friends who are just stuck at like one trade. You know what I mean? It's only been in recent years that I've realised, like, wow, well, it's like to really get good at one thing and do it, and then charge people money for you to do it for them. So I got my pal that I was working with last year, who was a roofer, really good at his trade, really focused on just being a good roofer. And now, like I say, I didn't respect that, but now I really respect how, like, you can just get good at something, get good at one thing, whether it be like a physical trade like that, like something like that, construction, or pretty much anything, But I didn't have any. All I could think about was trying to be like the number one fighter.
Well, your background sort of was made for that sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You say everything that led you to boxing.
Yeah.
And then when did you turn professional?
I think I was 22.
22, was that 2013?
2010.
2010. Oh, okay. 2010 you turned pro. And then who did you turn pro with?
John Eames.
Oh, okay.
At what gym?
The old TKO gym.
TKO up in London, yeah.
Nice.
Canning Town, East End.
Nice.
Dirtiest, darkest, smelliest gym ever, mate.
But how much talent
Oh
come through that
man,
gym?
yeah. That's where I met.
Who was there back then?
Mate, the first time I ever walked into that gym, the first person I saw, Jimmy Tibbs. Jimmy Tibbs,
what a legend.
legendary Jimmy Tibbs, Nigel Benn trainer. Jimmy Tibbs, you got Mark Tibbs' son. Jimmy Tibbs was obviously always a trainer of Billy Joe Saunders as well. Just an absolute East End legend. Like, he's written a book. It's just an absolute, just ledge. You know what I mean? You walked into the gym and saw him, and I thought, I recognise this guy like that. And of course, before going into the gym, you're like, what? That's the first pro gym I've ever been in. Like, first pro gym I've ever been in. Literally went straight in at the deep end and was like, what's this going to be like in here, man? You know what I mean? I know I was going up there for a week's trial, and it was like, oh man, I don't know what is going to go on in here. Do you know what I mean? I went straight in, see him. He's like, how you doing, son? You alright? Yeah, everything good? Everything good? You alright? Yeah. Good. Yeah. No, good to see you. Didn't know me, but it's proper old East End, like geezers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. Then you got Johnny Eames, who was just a total villain as well, and he won't even mind me saying that. East End bad man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just everyone around. You had Kev Mitchell in there at the time. You just had, oh man.
Billy Joe was around that time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Billy Joe Saunders. Who else did you have in there? Did you have Ricky Rose there that time?
Yeah.
He was there as well, was he?
You had, it was, oh God, you know what I mean? I'm totally falling apart with the names here now, but the gym was just buzzing. It's just an absolute unreal gym. You walked straight into, you had to walk upstairs there. There was always this really bad smell, because it was like a horrible smell, because you had a scrapyard next to it, and you had like a rubbish tip, So that stunk. Scrapyard stunk. You had like welding in the air. God knows what the oxygen was like around there, because it's in the middle of London as well.
Wouldn't pass health and safety now, would it?
It would not, man. I hope it's just burned to the ground. I hope they just get rid of it. You know what I mean? But it was just the place. Walked upstairs. They had this funny smell in the air because it was like there was like a plastic smelled in place next door or whatever they did. But it's always a funny smell. You go out there, walk upstairs, walk through the door, and it's boom, and it's this noise. There's like three boxing rings, one big one in the middle, one there, all like vast open space, offices there. One of the times I walked in there, just the time I walked in, there was like a whole police uniform in the office. And I walked into the office, and of course it's like police are like they were the enemy. Do you know that way? There were all these bad men. They're all boys, like East End lads and all that. And I was like, what's that doing here then? And it was Billy Joe's old man had it. It was like a trophy. I wouldn't even speculate on where he got it from. But he just got this whole uniform, and it's just there. Look what I got. Like it was like
He's like a crazy man that Billy Joe saw this guy.
Mate. It's just
How did you get the shot to go there? Obviously, like to go there for your first pro gym.
Tony Oki.
Trial.
Yeah,
So he
straight
brought
up
you
Tony
down.
Oki. Yeah, he just.
And how was that week? How did the week go?
Oh, and did they keep you on as well?
Oh yeah, they saw me straight up. Like trial. I obviously, do you know what I mean? Did the job.
And when did you have your debut?
My debut, my first one. So we set up a fight, so Johnny Eames like set me up to fight on this thing, but I didn't have my license or anything then, because of course back then, even then, it was like £75 for your license. I think it's nearly 200 quid now.
Yeah.
But then it was all cost, yeah. Brain scan 500 quid, medical anything from 200 to 350 pounds for your medical and your bloods. Yeah, so you got like almost £1,000 expenditure before you even fight, before you earn any money. And the idea was that they get you in for a fight, so you might be fighting. You get all that stuff done the week before you fight. Makes that last longer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push that a little bit further.
Yeah, of course.
And so we had the fights planned. I sold over 100 tickets for a fight that was meant to be in. It was in the York Hall, and I went in for my meeting to get my license, and they said, and the one thing they said to me was like, "Okay, so right, have you ever been in trouble with the police?" And I sort of looked at Johnny Eames like I went, "Yeah," and he was just like, he just put his head in his hands, and they went, "Oh, really? Okay, what's that then?" Like, so they started.
Was he expecting you to say no then?
He wanted me to
regardless?
say no. Yeah, just say no. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like just what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything really. You can go on, get your visa for America or whatever. You don't tell them you've ever been in trouble. You know, they might find out, they might not. It's just what it is. You know.
So what happened after that?
In the interest of full disclosure, I was just like, yeah,
Of course.
because I didn't want nothing to come back and bite me in the ass. So I was like,
100%.
oh yeah. I mean, that was ages ago. Well, it's nothing. I don't get in trouble no more. Whatever.
And you were classed as a juvenile, right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, why wasn't youth offender? But and then they gone and he said, oh, okay, what's this then? Anyway, so long story short, they basically asked for this thing called, it's not a full disclosure thing, it's subject access report, which is basically no one has any right to ask that. You could phone up Winchester now, which would be Hampshire Police. I don't know if you've ever been in trouble with the police, or even if you've been arrested wrongly, accused, or been arrested for something and then they de-arrested you, anything like that, it's all on this report. It's called the Subject Access Report, and you have to apply for it. So I had to go to Winchester, which is the Hampshire Police headquarters. I had to go and pick it up, and it is everything. It is like, I'd been arrested once for something, for stealing a car that I definitely didn't do. It was a wrongful arrest, wrong place, wrong time. I'd been arrested as well for egging a house one time, like criminal damage. Definitely wasn't me. It was just wrong place, wrong time, being from where I'm from around it. Like genuine, like,
Yeah, could have been anyone.
Yeah, but it's all in this report.
Wow.
And they asked for that.
How did
They
you
said, no, we want
overcome
that. I had to go get it and give it to him, but it was too late by then because I had the fight like a week later or whatever.
Did you take the fight?
No, the fight fell through. Missed my first fight. And it was like a number of people who came to see my first fight who never bought tickets again, just because that's how
Yeah,
people go.
you
They
had
get
that
messed
hype as
around.
well, didn't you?
Yeah, Yeah, so the first fight didn't happen there. First fight happened in Southampton in the end.
You definitely got a good following in Portsmouth. I think I told you yesterday. I remember I went to the bank. Went back to the bank one time, and the cashier was saying, "Oh, we're going to go see Joey McIntyre fight." He had a great buzz in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I believe you had 23 fights, right?
What man? 19 and 4, yeah.
Yeah, so 23 fights. What would you say is sort of your highlight win? I know you won a title, the English title.
English title, yes, without a doubt, English title. I had a couple on TV as well with the Ultimate Boxer. But the English title was the one, man, because there was so much hype behind that. And
Who was it as against Miles, wasn't it?
Miles Shinkwin. Yeah, previously lost to him before for the Southern Area title. He moved on to like bigger things, got signed by Warren and that after that fight. And I just had to carry on rebuilding and that.
Yeah.
And got the rematch with him in the end for the English title. Hyped up, loads of background behind like everything to do with it. He was obviously a rival. And yeah.
Where was that? What venue?
That was Liquid. I think it's Prism now?
Yeah, in
Yeah, but I
Pompey.
don't know what it is now.
Yeah, Prism.
What is it, like 15, 16
Don't lie, you go every weekend.
Well, I was
You
there
go
last
every
night. I was there
Student night.
I was there last night. I'll see you down there, Joey. We should.
I was just lurking in the corner, yeah, you should have seen me.
No, but was that on the Frank Warren show? You said he was promoted by Frank Warren. I take it wasn't on his show.
It was Steve Goodwin. Steve Goodwin put it on. And we had it down here. So it went to purse bids and we bid, and then my trainer at the time said, bid like however much it was, I can't remember, bid that. And he said, really? He said, yeah, we'll make it happen. And I ended up having to sell a boatload of tickets, and we pushed it. And it's funny actually, man, I don't even mind saying, but there were some people that I was working with back in the day, these might have boys that allegedly might have done like things they might not shouldn't have been doing, do you know what I mean? And it was only calling on these like boys that in the eyes of the law, naughty boys, shouldn't have been like around, that we made the fight happen. Like, because they came through with like pushing the rest of the tickets. We had to do a load more tickets at the last minute, like to make it happen. And yeah, it was like.
Was that a stress in the back of your mind when you're trying to train for an English title, and then you got to try and sell tickets, and you got to? Man,
yeah, it's all part of it. It's hideous. The tickets. You ask any boxer, anyone you get sitting on this sofa here right now will tell you the tickets is the worst part of the game. 100%.
We had Mikey McKinson in a few weeks ago. And he talks about his sort of first 10, 15 fights he couldn't sell a ticket.
No.
He obviously is not a big ticket seller. Yeah, he wasn't a big ticket seller. He had to rely on sponsors to give him the money. So I guess in terms of you had a good backing, and I guess it made it a little bit easier for yourself compared to someone like Mikey.
Yeah. I mean, he may be focused like, so. If I got a sponsor, it was to. Maybe to try and live on that, yeah. So I don't know if he was grafting or anything, what he was doing. But if he had sponsors that were paying for him and he wasn't selling any tickets, I assume that his sponsors were paying the opponent. So they were coming straight in and just going, boom, there you go, there's the money, the house money, the opponent money, so that he can fight. And then if he does sell any tickets, maybe he can keep the money. And it's a hideous way to be.
And he also said one time he was training for an 8-rounder, was it? And he had to take a 4-rounder because he couldn't sell enough tickets for an 8-rounder.
Yeah, that's happened. Yeah, it's happened to me.
It might be wrong with the rounds there, but yeah, this.
No, along them lines, it's happened to myself as well. It is. It's just like you might be selling you got that, and you're expecting to have. I've had it with a 6-rounder to a 4-rounder. With Mickey Elliott was my promoter at the time, manager. And I said, oh, this is a 6-rounder. He said, yeah, people are waiting. People want to see a 6-rounder and that. I was like, man, I'll give you the money for a 4-rounder. That's what I'm paying. That's all I can pay. We're going to make it 4 rounds. That's it. Just had to cut it down just because the buzz on that particular fight wasn't.
Did it go the
good.
distance?
It did.
Oh, okay.
It did. And that was one of them fights though. But I had like some boys that I know from around the way, and I remember one of them. I won't say who it was. He'll know if he sees this. He'll know exactly who it was because he'll remember saying it to me as I'm walking to the ring. He's like, listen, Joel. You get this guy out in the first round to give you £1,000, and I did, and it was only because the referee was one of them referees, Kieran, I can't remember his second name. One of them referees that like
in
the guy had to be dead to wave the fight off. Do you know what I mean? Had it been anybody else, because I bashed this kid really went for it in the first round. He was like going. I was like, no, I was looking at the referee like, come on, he's going, give it. I'm trying to get this bonus. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, for real.
Was that just after a 10 rounds? So you come back from a 10 round and you did a 4 round? Was it that fight?
No, not that one. No, I know what you're on about, but no, this was actually the second fight I had with a lad called Jody Meikle, and I fought him first one, and he was just a mess about. He was all that, and I'm actually going to catch up with him soon because he's a good lad, and like.
Is he from Port? Is he local?
He's not. He's up north somewhere. I don't know if it's like Huddersfield or something like that. God knows, but yeah, he's a good lad. Going to catch up with him soon.
Nice, man. So obviously you had 23 fights now. I believe a couple of years back, 2 years back, you took a bit of a break from boxing, right?
Yeah.
You had is it 2 years you had out?
Yeah, man. All but retired. 2 years.
I remember hearing it. I was quite surprised as well. You put it up on Facebook. So
yeah.
I'm retiring from the sport. Why did you actually choose to just leave from the sport?
Just one of them things. It was. God, there was so many different things. You know what I mean? I'll put it this way, like we just spoke about, English title, top of the world, won the English title, top of the world. That was the end of 2016, and I thought, right now, this is it. This is the bit that I've been looking for. With like the people calling each other out, and it's all up there, and there'll be TV shows, and there'll be all this, all the grafting that you've been doing. The boxing. I've won the English title now. I'm gonna get people coming, knocking the door, just saying, "Come on, in, I want to take your title," and all that. And it just was not like that. It was just totally not quite like what I expected.
So what happened after you got the title? Was you hoping for the British title next to be matched up, or? Yeah.
It went quiet for like the start of 2017. There was nothing at first, and like bear in mind this is before get the like the social media and getting right into grips with that, because there was always Twitter back in the day, but I was never on Twitter. Like a friend of mine, Danny Connor, I'm going to shout out Danny Connor. I remember him saying to me, "Closed mouths don't get fed." That man was like, I know you won't mind me saying this, he was a mediocre boxer, yeah, but he talked, and he could talk, and he could talk himself into some big fights. And he will shout out to Danny there, because he's a geezer.
What weight was he, Danny? I've not heard of it. Is he from here?
No, Danny Cassius Connor. He's from.
Danny is Cassius Connor. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I know Danny.
Yeah.
I think he's lightweight.
Yeah, he was lightweight. So that wasn't it. And he was a geezer, but he was one of the first boxers I knew to get on Twitter and start just mouthing off, and chirping up, and he just got noticed by people. And Eddie Hearn was just like noticed him straight away, and then he's like. And he talked, like I said, closed mouths don't get fed. He talked his way into fights, and he even said it. I'm not the best fighter, but I talked myself way into it. So I wasn't to grips with this at the time. It might have been a little bit like more prevalent when I won the English title, but I still wasn't quite getting to grips with it. And it was never my style to talk rubbish and that. I was naive, to be fair, of the business, because the business is entertainment. And you have to do the certain amount of talk and playing the game, And there is a certain amount of that. I know some of these YouTube stars and that, they take it to the next level, and it's cringe-worthy as you like.
Some of it is, yeah. Some of it, you see it now. You couldn't see real boxers doing that, could you?
Nah, not real men, real fighters. You know what I mean? Real good businessmen, maybe. It does sell their souls and just act like an idiot and just to do it to make money. And that was never ever my style. But there's got to be a certain amount of it. You got to get your head around it. Anyway, at the time, I'd won the English title and I wasn't into any of that or anything. I was just like, right, I've done the hard work. I'm an English champ.
You're waiting to be approached.
Yeah, come on, someone come at me. And it was just crickets. Do you know what I mean? Tumbleweeds. It's just like nothing.
So what did you do with the time out before you come back? Obviously, you said you retired.
There was a lot of. It was like almost like 6 months before then I had to get named a mandatory. So someone got named mandatory. I think it was Dex Spellman, who I have actually fought in the Ultimate Boxer over 3 rounds.
You did the Ultimate Boxer as well?
Yeah. And so Dex Spellman, who was the mandatory at the time, and so I was expecting to fight him. They won the purse bids, and I was going to go and fighting him in Scunthorpe. And I was just like, yeah, Christy, good purse. I was going to get a nice little purse, go out there, just take care of business. It would have been a hell of a fight, But I was like, there was no stress, no selling tickets, nothing. Didn't care. Cushy, go out there, get a nice bit of money, defend my title. That fell through a week before the fight. I had heard whispers about it, like where it was going to fall through, and he had the back. No, he's definitely going to pull out. And I was like, so I was trying to keep my head in the game, carry on training, even though I think this fight ain't going to happen. This was something like June 2017, and I'd booked a holiday in Malta, which is like my favourite place on earth, for the week after the fight. So that was still booked, but then that turned into a training camp. Like, it just totally messed head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that happened. So I went over there, started training, and then that fight fell through, like I said. Then the next thing, got offered another fight. It was on Sky Sports, and my trainer at the time, and I won't bother saying who it was, but he was sort of in my ear like, no, I don't want that. That was a really big opportunity. I could have fought on Sky Sports, good purse, against Jake Paul, to defend my title.
Against Jake Paul?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, you're 6-year-old Jake Paul. Yeah, I was just
quiet,
tread on
mate.
him.
Quiet.
Nah, not quite. Yeah, almost, but yeah.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, but then that happened, and then
What a name.
and then we didn't take that fight for whatever reason, because my trainer at the time was like, no, that's not the one. We don't want to take that.
And will you spend a lot of money on the training camps, on the coaches, on obviously living, waiting for these fights?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
that must have been
fortunately, I had a really good sponsor. But even now, I mean, I don't like to talk about money, but I would say I was getting £1,200 a month just to train, yeah? But bearing in mind my rent was £900 a month, that's nothing, is it? Really, what the hell is that? So I'm scraping, you know what I mean? And I'm hustling and doing little bits and bobs.
To work as well, yeah.
Doing little bits and bobs, you know what I mean? To try and live like a half decent life. All the way, like trying, and I had the English title, so I was like, yeah, but I've still got the chips. Do you know what I mean? So I'm still winning it. I'm still doing well. By the time a fight actually did come through, and it just got confirmed and got like sanctioned and had to happen, it was a kid called Liam Conroy, and I'd never heard of him, and I was just like, oh, you know what I mean? I had to sell tickets, and it was another one. People by then, the buzzard. Boxing's all about momentum. Boxing's all about momentum, and if you lose the momentum, it's very hard to get it again.
Yeah.
So the momentum had all died down after the English title win. It was like halfway through the next year. It had been like at least 6 months, and then I didn't fight this guy until September. I sold a few tickets. It was up in London and all that. He was the underdog, obviously hungry as hell, and I was just fed up by that moment. And like, you know, bottom line is all my responsibility and my problem, my issue. But I was just like, I just want to get this over and done with. But it was a British eliminator. So it's still a massive fight.
Yeah.
I was the champ, top of the bill on the show at the York Hall. But I would just run in there like a lunatic. Just run in there with I'm going to just take this kid out and get over and done with. Got stopped in 2 rounds. I got stopped in 2 rounds, boom. So I went from up there to boom, right down through the floor. Yeah. So
How come you got, obviously you talked a little bit about your attitude, like a lot of pullouts, a lot of things went not your way, but this was a British title eliminator, right? Could that not be a motivator for you to say, do you know what, I'm going to give it 100%?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like I said, I mean, it would be for a lot of lads, but by then I was like champion for 6 months without having a fight.
Yeah.
But I had two fights fall through, and no real buzz about it. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. I thought by now I'd grafted and done all the crap fights and done all the 4-rounders, the 6-rounders, and I'd lost it, and then I'd come back and I'd beat the rival that beat me. You know what I mean? So I'd avenge my loss and still going. I thought, nah, this is it, and it just wasn't. Like, it just wasn't what it was, and by then I was totally sick to death of it.
And you said about the Sky Sports opportunity that you had. I'm keen to find out why. You said about your coach that he obviously didn't want to take it. Was there any reason why? Were you not physically ready? Was it something he didn't feel was right?
No. For me, I thought it was a completely winnable fight. Jake Paul was a good southpaw, quite a slick fighter, but definitely absolutely winnable. With it was a really good purse. We're talking like 5-figure purse, and it was like, yeah, it was and it was going to be on Sky Sports. Sky Sports 1 at the time, which was Matchroom was on, and
was it Matchroom show?
he was signed with Eddie Hearn, and they were like, come on. They did give us 4 weeks' notice, which wasn't super ideal, but I was still the champ. I could have gone through and just done it, but my trainer was just like, no, manager, your manager's trying to sell you out. Manager's trying to sell you out. He's selling you out. He's getting rid of you. He's got so and so. He's got so and so at the same weight. He's trying to get rid of you. Don't take that fight.
Surely you want the belief to. It doesn't matter who you're fighting. 4 weeks notice. You've got the belief, like you said in your head, that of course you can take him. It's winnable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, there's 20 grand looking at me in the face as well. Like you can take that, and you get in. You know, you get
and the exposure.
Exposure.
And just imagine if you win.
But
I think you should have seen it that way.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but I believed I would have won. It was just for some reason he was saying to me, no. And I was so. It was funny because I'd been with that trainer in the past at one point. Then we'd split. I'd gone with someone else. It was only to do with changing managers, and the trainer was in the manager's gym, so I had to change trainers. It was unfortunate stuff. So it was back and forth. Gone back with this trainer, and I thought we butted head a few times before. I'm just going to give him full. I'm going to do exactly what he says. I'm just going to let it do as I'm told. I'm going to behave. I'm going to be a good boy. Do as I'm told. Do you know what I mean? So when he was going to me, no, we're not taking this fight. I was like, okay, all right, okay, then I won't. Sod it. I won't take it. And that's it.
And
it's one of the biggest opportunities.
Obviously, when you said you weren't really hungry for the British title eliminator, you took the loss. Is that when you hung up the gloves?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I lost that. I lost that fight. Lost my title. Spent a week in bed. Like literally, spent a week in bed after that. Just depressed.
How was it to overcome that? Was it tough?
Tough, yeah, tough. But we had to switch out of the team. Shout out to my trainer right now, Darren Wiseman, because I lost that fight. Yeah, my trainer at the time left. Bear in mind, I'm like concussed, taking a seriously beating. Like I didn't get knocked out cold, but I got messed up. Yeah.
Your coach left you at that time.
He went, man. Like I say, it wouldn't be right to say his name, but he knows who he fucking is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Went, boom, gone. And my trainer right now that I'm with now, Darren Wiseman, wasn't my trainer at the time. He sat we went back to the hotel after all my friends were waiting for me, bless their hearts, they was all waiting for me. And Darren was there the whole time, and my missus was always obviously worried now. I'm taking a serious few blows to the head, do you know what I mean? And definitely concussed and everything like that. He literally sat next to my bed, 100% I swear on my life, he sat next to my bed waiting for me to fall asleep. So I remember going back there and we had a few drinks and all that, and I went back to the room and I was smashed, and he just sat there and waited for me to fall asleep. My missus said, he sat by your bed waiting until you fell asleep. Wasn't even my trainer at the time. That's like serious loyalty.
What a guy.
You know what, you hear a lot about this. I think Martinez said it the best when he said he won against somebody, and then he had all these hundreds of phone calls. As soon as he lost, he had one phone call from his mum.
Yeah.
So you obviously went through a similar stage as that as well. What's quite interesting about Darren Wiseman, I can say personally, I don't know him personally, but he's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember when he was working under Wayne, and he was always encouraging to me.
Yeah.
And I only met the guy once or twice. So even now, what's this, about 13 years later?
Yeah.
He's still in the game and he's doing great in his club.
Yeah,
he's created a few national champions, I believe, isn't he, John?
Yeah. Mark Chamberlain was one of his. He was.
Mark Chamberlain,
and he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? You got Bailey, who's also doing really well. Bailey Donald. But yeah, I mean Darren. Yeah,
is Bailey fighting?
You can't buy that stuff. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I hope they're going to be up there. But fighting tomorrow. But yeah, it's just that thing. I like to deal with sort of things that are just like constant, like no messing about. Like people that are just, you don't have to worry about whether what they say, was it truth, was it right, or stuff that you just know someone's just straight up, and I just know that he's just straight up, and that's all there is to it, and that's it.
So the comeback, when you decided to actually come back, so you had how long out? 2 years out?
Yeah, well, I think it's 3, but yeah, 2 years out. 2018, December 2018. I packed it up. That was an English title fight against Miles Shinkrin. It was the trilogy one, and it was a bit of bit of a stinker. Just again, I was like looking for a way out.
Sorry, was it your comeback fight?
No, that was the end. Before,
That was
when
sorry.
I packed in.
Okay, yeah.
The comeback was just down the road there, just in the thing. That was last October. So yeah, by the time I got back in the ring, it was almost 3 years.
Wow.
How did you find training coming back after 3 years?
Or did you train over that time as well? Were you training during that time?
I didn't put a pair of gloves on for 2 years.
Did you not?
I was done with it. My missus like, you're done. You're never coming back. You're never doing it again. Never doing boxing again. Most of my family, please, you're not doing that, are you? You're not doing it again, are you? Like my nan and my mum, you're not, are you? You're not. I was like, nah, I won't, I promise.
So why did you choose to come back? What was the reason behind coming back? Did you miss it? Was it financial?
Yeah, it was just not financial. No, absolutely not. There's no money in it at this level. It costs you more money than you earn. It was an unfinished business. If you want to put it in the cheesiest way possible.
No, I can understand that. Yeah.
I guess you knew that you could definitely do more.
Yeah.
And you could put more into it. Like you said, your heart weren't there when you were in your last couple of fights.
Yeah.
So if your head and heart is there, obviously like now you got a fight next month.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks.
16th, is it? 16th?
16th of April, yeah.
And you're all in now.
Yeah, man. The same as I was when I, like I say, 3 years out. But October 2020 is when I decided, right, okay, I'm gonna start training, see if my body, because I'd stopped training and throwing punch. I'd put some gloves on for like 2 years, done a few weights and stuff like that, done a few bit of training and stuff like that. But I thought, right now I'm gonna go back in, see if I can do it. And I started with October 1st. I've got it all written down in my diary. I've got everything logged. You can see it. October 1st, 2020, 3 mile run. So from the October 2020, the 3 mile run every single day. Now, it's not ideal. I wouldn't do that in a training camp, but I'd see what I can do. See if I can do 3 miles every single day. If I can stick to that, then I know that's step one. And then the next November was something like 3 miles one day, and I was doing half-mile sprints. So like these like 800-meter sprints, yeah. Doing that on another day, and then doing the 3 miles. So I was staggering it like that. So I did all that. Yeah, okay, my body's cool with that. It was basically, long story short, it was a year of a comeback journey just to make sure I could still do it.
That's good. You gave yourself time.
Yeah. Because, I mean, most people tell you take 2 weeks out of the gym and you go back and you're like,
What's going on? Yeah. Feel it next day, don't you? Do you know what we mean now? It's not the next day, it's the day after.
oh yeah, it's like DOMS, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
mate.
delayed stuff.
It's horrible, man. Horrible feeling. That's actually older. You're all to come, Ash.
I'm all right. I try and focus on recovery. Obviously, cold showers, sleep, everything, and yeah.
There's only so much cold showers.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, when I hit my 30s, it'll be different. That's for sure.
You got your diary. That's quite interesting. That shows that you're quite in tune with your training and what in your diary you write about your day life, how or is it just about your training that you do?
No, it's just it's like a sort of checklist thing. Just like if I write it down, I was writing things down, and I'd have a highlighter, and I'd write all my stuff that I wanted to do. And then my aim was to highlight as many of those things once I'd done it.
It's sort of satisfying, isn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah.
Like, how good is it? Like, yes, I've done this today.
Yeah.
You take it off and you feel great at the end of the day, don't you?
I still do it now. Currently, I do it. Like this was on my thing as well to do. Like, come here and do the podcast.
Lovely.
Just like that when I get home. but it is. It's training, just the to-do list and stuff like that. I think it's good to write something down. You sort of straight away put it into. It's real then, isn't it?
You'll know about stuff like that, endorphins and stuff like that. I don't know if it releases stuff
Oh, it
like
is.
that.
Yeah, it's huge. Goal setting's huge. You get those little releases of dopamine when you are hitting them goals, and it's good for everything. Good for your hormones.
Yeah.
You know all these things. So,
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
brilliant. And then obviously when you got back to the boxing gym finally, after you ticked enough things off with your highlighter,
Yeah,
was that base camp? Did you go to base camp?
Yeah, what did Darren say as well when you said I want to come back? And what did your family say? That's a big thing.
Well, so it was like, December 2020. It was a lot of things to do with like the whole COVID story. Do you know what I mean? It was to do with that, and I thought, do you know what, life's too short. That was another big thing. I thought, do you know what, any time we was all getting locked down and everything was taken away. Not that I think that anyone can really take it away from you like that, but it was on the surface. I think anything like that can be taken away. Like, it's just, you only live once, you know what I mean? Really. And life's too short to not do the things. And like I say, I think I was 32, 33 at the time, and I just thought, if I get to 38 and I haven't done this, then it's too late when I'm that age, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to do this now, otherwise never.
And how was the comeback fight? It was first round knockout, was it?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, 30, 34
You haven't lost
seconds.
the power then, huh? That's all right.
No, I don't think, you know what, I haven't got millions of knockouts on my record, but I think that's a lot to do with, like I say, the whole mental side of it as well, because if you sort of commit to the shots, or if you look for the knockout, it doesn't come, but if you commit to the shots and you just let the shots go and you put them together and you go through the gears, you start knocking people over. And every time you hit a knockout, I don't know if you've ever, like, when you're training or whatever, sparring or anything, when you're in your fights, you don't see it, it just goes phew, and it goes on the floor. You don't, it's not like you see the whole and it's like flash, man's on the floor, and you're like, oh cool. get to the neutral corner and we're gonna count, do you know what I mean?
So, sometimes it's interesting you said that, but do you like telegraph shots coming? Like I can read when a shot's coming, you can slip it and then throw that shot, and then you can do you have any things like that come to you, or is it just or is it all like instant with you?
No, that's right. I find that, I think Nonito Donaire said it once, yeah? Like old Filipino.
Great, 4-time world champion, 4-time world champion.
Yeah, something like that, and literally another one that's just inspired me because he's just won a world title again at 38 years old.
Yeah.
But he said it once, and he said the more relaxed you are in the ring, basically, if time slows down, and it does. The more relaxed you are, you just see things. You just move, and it's like almost like a flow state.
That's how I saw the Wood Condon fight. I thought when Condon caught him with that overhand left, he looked so relaxed. He was bouncing, and then boom, you saw this big loop in left. I think Condon,
it just went.
he looked so comfortable and so loose. That
And there's always the thing that you never get the knockout if you go looking for it, and it doesn't. It was funny though, because when my last fight, my comeback fight, I thought, what about if I just knock this kid out in one punch? And I just thought maybe I'm just gonna knock him out in one punch. I'm just gonna time it. If I just put my hand there, get the distance, throw a punch, knock him out. It happened. I mean, but like it wasn't. It was like the visualization thing, you know, and like the manifestation. I think it was just. But there was a lot of time.
That's quite. Do you practice visualization and
closer towards the fights, definitely.
What do you do for it? What is it that you do to practice your visualization?
It's like scenarios in your head. Like for me, it's scenarios in my head. I just sort of like, okay, and now go ding, 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 walk forward. What's going to happen? Is he going to rush? If he rushes, I might do that. If he doesn't, if he steps back, I'm going to measure with a jab, or just little, let's say scenarios. Go through them in your head and just of different situations.
I think you're quite big on visualization as well.
Yeah, huge. We also had a psychologist on, Shaq, don't know if you know. Anyway, she was saying visualize everything, like your footwork. Just I can lay there for 10 minutes. When I was in Sweden for King of the Ring, I just laid there and I just envisioned just me boxing and moving, nice, just throwing the jab, just feeling comfortable. And when I was in there, it was like I'd already done it. Like I felt no nerve, I felt really comfortable. Just reliving it in your head, it really took. Obviously when you have a lot of adrenaline, you have a lot of buzz, it is good, but when you have too much, especially in the amateurs, it's, a lot of my previous fights, I'd gas come the third round where I just loaded up.
It drains you.
Yeah, so now I just feel a lot more comfortable and relaxed where I can just think through it all.
Have you heard of decision-making fatigue?
No.
So you heard like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates and all that, well, they wear just like one outfit. Steve Jobs was always just wear like a turtleneck, and even like Mark Zuckerberg, all these top boys, these billionaires and all that, they don't really change their clothes because they get up in the morning and you only have so many decisions that you can make.
5 or 6 decisions a day, didn't they? I've read.
Is it?
Yeah, I've read something similar to that.
So that's your basically mental fatigue. So you think about it too much and you're going through it and you can just fatigue your mind so much that it's all energy. So you're all using energy, making either decisions or throwing punches or walking or whatever you're doing, you're using energy. Have you read Psycho-Cybernetics?
No, but this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So have you had golfers and stuff like that? They can improve their swing just by thinking about it.
Visualize. Yeah, well, actually, there was a study with basketball players, and some practice physically and some practice visually.
Yeah.
And they both had the same amount of improvement with their free throw or whatever
What,
it was.
what is that all about?
Yeah.
It shows you
true.
everything's connected to the mind, isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't it?
If you get everything right, you can't get everything right in there, but if you can get it right there, it's like Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury's perfect, but he's so strong mentally
Yeah.
that he can push through barriers and do what he wants.
I think that with Tyson Fury comes from like once you've hit rock bottom, you've been right down there. You've seen the darkness, and you say, okay, I've seen the darkness, and I don't like that, but I'm not afraid of it. I've done it, been there, whatever.
That's true, Tyson Fury and Harry Rose. But another one's, it's Danny Jacobs. I don't know if you know his story.
Yeah, the Miracle Man.
Miracle Man, he had cancer, and then, he would have been quite low. But when he got knocked by Golovkin, many people would stay down. Do you remember when he got knocked down by Golovkin?
Yeah.
Got back up, and he took him all the way, and he should have won that fight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. It was. Yeah.
So it shows you, the mental state and mental break, and that's really interesting. I have to look into that. But yeah, you said about the billionaires, they do this to try and make as less decisions as possible.
Yeah,
to move
because you
forward.
only get so many in a day, like say. So picking what to wear in the morning, that's been my problem, man. Because I'm like wearing clothes. You know what I mean? I might have 4 costume changes a day. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Imagine where I could be if I didn't.
Yeah, I know. Come with another pair of trainers. I'll see you next time. So many, but no. So now you're back. Now you're back. What's the goal? Why did you come back for?
Well, it's a crime. I think that I didn't win the British title when I was boxing. So I'm back now to get the British title.
And that's obviously held by Dan Aziz at the
Dan
moment.
Aziz has got that, yeah.
Just signed with Sky Sports, doesn't he? Boxer.
Yeah. And he's alright. I got a lot of respect for that guy, yeah. And I'd love to fight him. Got a lot of respect for him because he literally did what I wanted to do. Southern area, English, British. Just went through. Just did it. Just grinded through. He hasn't. No disrespect, hasn't got nothing spectacular about his game, but he's clearly solid. I know his trainer, Brian O'Shaughnessy, he's a class operator. He was from back in the day, back in the TKO day. I think he trained Lawrence Coley back in the day as well, Brian O'Shaughnessy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. He had this, I think his son, Dudley O'Shaughnessy, he was like, class, West Ham boy. I might be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was his boy. He was a West Ham lad. He was in like a Rihanna video. He turned out to be a model. Yeah. I remember being in Selfridges one time.
That's your calling as well, isn't it, John?
Oh, I appreciate that. But, come on, let's not just tell lies. Flipping out. Unless that camera gets more good side. That's what I'm sitting there like. He was. I remember seeing this kid. I had sparred him. He came from West Ham, West Ham club, and he was like, I thought, he's a good-looking kid. What's he doing boxing? Do you know what I mean? Sparred him really class. He was a bit lighter than me, so he was dead hard to catch and hit and all that, but really good sparring. And then the next time I saw him, he was on a big poster wearing a Stone Island jacket in Selfridges.
Wow.
That kid. Yeah. And then the next thing, he was in a Rihanna video.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know what Rihanna song it is, but he's like one of them. But he was good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Brian's kid. I might be completely wrong. I got the same second name. But Brian, yeah, that's Dan Aziz, his coach. So I got a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect for Dan as well. But he's just got the belts. So it's just.
Without overlooking your fight in April, what do you want this year? What's the plan?
Man, if it had gone, I wanted the English already. It's still vacant. I don't know what the board are thinking with the English. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I ain't got enough followers on Instagram or something, but do you know what I mean? Like, come on, it's a vacant title. I've had it before.
Don't Dan Aziz have the English? You've got the English and British, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's had that.
Or did he vacant?
English, British, they're vacant now. English, you go on the board, on the BBFC thing, it's vacant. And I was really hoping to get that. I was hoping they was going to announce that first thing in January, and they didn't. And they didn't in February. And then it's like, well, okay, maybe I'm going to have another fight.
So you do want to fight for the English then? If we're going to be asking for it, who's lined up?
Man,
Anyone?
I don't even know. I don't even care. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. I'm not overlooking anybody. I've got utmost respect. I'm a grown up. Do you know what I mean? I've got a serious mind on my shoulders now, and I'm thinking, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Someone who's up for it, I'm glad that I hope they're as up for it as I am. Then we got a good fight on our hands. Do you know what I mean? But there's a good story there as it is, because I had that belt and I didn't defend it or unsuccessfully defended it. Do you know what I mean? So I want my belt back. Still got it. My boy's still got it in his bedroom. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to get it and have it, defend it, and have it properly. Because obviously you can purchase the belts when you win them. I mean, if you get it and win it, then you've got it. Do you know what I mean? And then I want the British outright because I'd like to be number one in Britain.
That'd be amazing.
It's a hell of a division.
You've got some great talent. You've got obviously right at the top of you've got Callum Smith, haven't you?
Josh
Right at the top,
Boazzi.
Josh
Callum
Boazzi.
Smith's now, light heavyweight. Josh Boazzi. Unfortunately, I find that a lot of them they're going to be pushing them on because of their backing and stuff like that. They're going to push them straight on. None of them are going to be interested in me. But as it stands, as the English domestic scene, I'm not saying that there isn't anyone there. There's plenty there. And we all should be looking to fight each other.
I've seen you call out Idris Virgo. Obviously, Dan Aziz, if you were to even get the shot at a British title, if he wanted to defend it, I think that would be a brilliant fight.
Yeah. And the only thing about Idris Virgo, he's obviously a big, it's a product, and do you know what I mean? So he's got a big following and stuff like that. It's just, I noticed it on his Instagram, just lots of calling him on all the smoke, and I wasn't seeing a lot of replies or anything. I don't know if there was something about. I heard Goodwin offered him to fight his lad. I can't remember his lad's name now. Kid from Cornwall. But anyway, yeah, there was that. But I was like, okay, mate, come on.
So I guess vacant English title, heavyweight title, you and Idris.
It'd be brilliant.
That'd be great.
It'd be great. It'd be a good opportunity for him as well to step up. Because a lot of people saying to him, you ain't fought no one, you're a pretender, you're fake and all that. So fight the ex-English champion. I'm a veteran now. I've been in here for a long time.
Yeah.
Fight me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, okay. I ain't got as many followers on Instagram, but it's not Instagram. It's boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I think that sounds like a great fight. Get your fight out in April, and then probably 3 months after that, you're looking at a nice summer English title.
I think got so much, as you said, they've got so much talent around that area, around the light heavyweight.
Yeah.
You can fight any one of these guys.
Yeah.
And for the English title, I'm sure it'd be all a cracking fight. And I've seen some of your fights before. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
Very skillful fighter as well. So whoever it is, I think it'd be a great fight. And pumping behind you, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It'd be good to get your name out there.
Yeah, I love my city. We was talking about before we came in here, and I was like, mate, there is no. I'm not even gonna lie. There's no better place to be on a sunny, beautiful day, spring day, than the south coast in Pompey, mate. It's just. I was driving through on my way here, and I love it here. I love this place. I'll swear all over. I love this place so much. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Because you've got history, you've got lovely architecture, and then you've got the seaside. It's just the place.
Stuart, just actually quite curious. You got a little boy.
Yeah.
You said, yeah. Is he aiming for him to box as well?
Nah, he don't. He's a lover, not a fighter. That kid's a lover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might be like a chef or something. He's a good cook.
Is he a good cook?
Yeah, man, he's a good cook.
After his mother, I think you said earlier, she's a good
She
cook.
can cook as well. Yeah, she's a wasted talent when it comes to chefing and that, man. It's unreal.
Amazing. Right, guys, thank you very much for listening to podcast number 9. Obviously, Joel, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck in your training camp, and best of luck for the 16th of April.
Yeah.
We'll try and come down and do a session with you as well.
Yes,
I'll
you're
really
more than welcome. Come down.
Come down and do a session. See if I've still got it. And Ash is training quite a bit. We can
Not
still
the
do
likes
it.
of you though, but yeah.
No, I want to see now though. I'm intrigued.
Perfect. No, Joe. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
mate.
it. Great catching up with you again, brother.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much. Cheers.